fresh fact. Texas, ranked in 107 consecutive AP polls. Mack Brown has done a remarkable job. Took over in the late 90s. They've been a fixture in the polls virtually ever since, trying to win their 5th bowl game in the last 6 seasons.
Man, Texas football was like a sleeping giant that went dormant for a while, and Mack Brown woke that sleeping giant. And back to what you expect and what I expect Longhorn football to be about.
First ever appearance in the Alamo Bowl. They're locked up in a tight one with Iowa. Quan Cosby, the ball came out after he was down at the 14. Zach Gableman popped it out. Godfrey lost some headgear.
And this is
it was the helmet that came out, not the ball.
Good thing. This is what Iowa does well now. They'll keep the ball in front of them, and they'll give away the dinks and dunks. And down here in the red zone, because the field shrinks and they bring the end line of the end zone as your 12th man, this is where they get a little adventurous and come with blitzing packages.
7 catch for Cosby. That matches his single game best for his career. He's been a favorite target in recent weeks for McCoy. On 3rd down, a throwback. And it'll be very close to the first down, apparently just short. Saving tackle by Mike Humple, the junior linebacker, as he took down Jermichael Finley. And now a decision for Mack Brown on 4th down. In less than a yard, a field goal puts them ahead, and they have a field goal kicker who hasn't missed. I think you have to take the points right now in the lead with 11 and a half to go, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you take the points. And I tell you, that was a good job by Mike Humple. Tough duty covering Finley. It was a throwback play, much similar to what I was scored, but Chandler was lined up illegally. They ran it, but Humple, good disciplined coverage, covered Finley and was able to eliminate the yards after catch by Finley.
So now Ryan Bailey, 2 for 2 today, 6 for 6 since becoming the field goal kicker in the middle of the year. Greg Johnson was handling the punting and place kicking. He had a groin injury. Now a timeout called. The play clock running down.
Timeout. University of Texas.
Thrown into the fire in Nebraska, and his first kick was that game winner against the Huskers in the final 30 seconds. So another big kick after this. This game is being broadcast in high definition on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Plasma Displays. Well, an interesting development. Looked like the field goal was the call originally for Mack Brown, but after considering it during the timeout, he's going to go for it on 4th down and 1 from just inside the 10, trailing by 1 point with just under 11 minutes to go. Selvin Young is the tailback. Luke Tiemann the fullback. McCoy, play action pass. He's going to run for it. First down, down to the 2. Great call on the play. 8-yard gain, and Miguel Merrick saved a touchdown for Iowa.
They had a great call because they brought the motion, and what Iowa does is they slant their defensive line to the motion right there. Greg Madison gets caught up inside, does not keep contained, which allowed Colt McCoy to make the decision to run or throw. Easy decision when you have all that green in front of you to make the run. An excellent call by Coach Davis and Coach Brown. One that they believed they would get on Iowa. Greg's got a hold contained on that. There was nobody there. Contained meaning nobody outside. Brian Madison, his dad's coaching, not Greg, ain't playing.
First and goal from the 2. Gordon Shipley, the motion man. Selvin Young, the touchdown score. 3 would have been good for the lead, but 6 is better for Texas. And they'll go for 2. Try to get up by 7 with 10:48 to go. Some of the offense coming off the field. Mack Brown alerting them to the fact that he wants to go for the 2-point conversion. Selvin's family that made the trip from Houston.
Just a good job. The big fella's getting lower, blowing Iowa off the ball for that one. I'm a sweet big target down here.
First two-point conversion try this season for Texas. McCoy running out of time. Throws to the back of the end zone, incomplete. Well defended by Iowa. Tenor Billy Pittman. Marcus Pascal was nearest in coverage, the senior from Largo, Florida. Well, we spoke with Selvin Young yesterday. He said Colt McCoy is fearless. Tough run by McCoy. Set up Young's go-ahead score. Will be a happy night along the Riverwalk for the fans of one of these teams. They have certainly given us another entertaining Alamo Bowl game here in San Antonio. A back-and-forth game. Iowa the early lead. Texas rallied to go ahead. Then Iowa reclaimed the lead. Now it's Texas again with Greg Johnson kicking off after the 2-yard touchdown, having a 72-yard drive that took over 5 minutes. Anthony Bowman took a knee. Texas defending a national championship. They selected Colt McCoy to replace Vince Young. They won their season opener, but then lost the 1-versus-2 showdown to Ohio State. That was just a momentary setback as Texas rattled off 8 straight wins thereafter, including wins over Oklahoma and Nebraska. But they ended the year with consecutive losses at Kansas State and at home to Texas A&M. They're right here 9-3. Hoping for a 10th win for the 6th straight year. They could be the only team in the country that would make that claim. Tate slow to get up after the completion to Trey Strauss. And there is a flag down. First catch of the day for the redshirt freshman from Avon Lake, Ohio, for 13 yards.
We're going to get a late hit right there on Drew Kelson.
Roughing the passer on the defense, number 4, for helmet-to-helmet contact. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Trey Strauss, another young receiver who's improved over the bowl break for Iowa. I was talking to Kirk Ferentz about Trey. I said, Coach, what's he need to do to get better? He said he's a great hustler. He does everything he has. He's just got to keep that even keel. Just keep relaxed a little bit. The more relaxed he becomes, the better player he will be. That was a nice route and a good job of catching the ball with his hands.
You just like him because he's from Ohio.
How'd he get away?
Loss of 3 of his 12 catches in the regular season in the regular season finale at Minnesota. Well, win or lose, Tate has had one of his best games of the year here in his final game for the Hawkeyes. And he throws it away under pressure from Tim Crowder. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
It's a long developing play. He had Brodell coming over the middle. Again, Texas is starting to get their ears pinned back and coming on the pass rush where Brodell didn't have enough time to get across and let the route develop. So Drew made a good senior decision and throwing it to his teammates on the sidelines.
Nowhere near as much offense for Iowa here in the second half. They have 2 tight ends on the field now. Damian Sims, the lone back, on their own 48, down by 5 points. Approaching 10 minutes to go. Sims danced for a couple. Michael Griffin made the tackle. The story Michael Griffin told us yesterday. He has 8 pit bulls.
Yeah.
And he brought the oldest of the 8 pit bulls, Shaq, to practice one day to meet the team. He said Shaq got out of the car and started running toward the team. He said most of the guys on the team just started running away.
Wouldn't you?
I would too.
Yeah. I tell you, Michael Griffin did a good job of disguising coming up late and being an extra linebacker right there. He was able to tackle Sims because he was the on-block player because he showed it so late and came in the box late.
3rd down along 7. Texas crowd making it difficult for Tate. And he didn't get the play off. He did not get the play off. Play clock still not working. The officials communicating the time to the quarterback. And
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
so it's a 5-yard walk-off and the fiery Tate in the face of some of his teammates. Here's Rob.
Sean, we'll add to that Michael Griffin dog-loving story. He takes his pit bulls to shows. He owns 8 of them, 3 which live with him at school. He's hardcore with this training. Now, he's devoted to him, but he's been known to put them on weight gainer, and even has one that he's called Shaq, the oldest. He straps it to a 2-door Ford Explorer and pulls it for exercise. Sounds like Shaq and Spielman would get along just fine.
And then another one of a man. We said, why man? He said, I got him when he was 6 months old. He was 103 pounds. He was already a man. Tate on the run. Man wide open. It's Brodell for a first down to the Texas 38-yard line. Brandon Foster, a backup cornerback, had the coverage. 17 yards, and the Hawkeyes are still alive on this possession.
You see Brodell right here. The zone coverage. He just sits down in the open zone area, allowing Drew Tate to buy time with his feet, and he just delivers the strike. You got 2 guys covering dirt over to your right while Brodell finds the open area, sits down, and he's coming alive, as with Drew Tate, who's going out a champion.
6 catches, 160 yards for Brodell. He had 159 yards receiving against Minnesota in the regular season finale. How about that for back-to-back games? A dump off to Scott Chandler, the younger brother of the former Iowa quarterback Nathan Chandler, who's in business in their dad's real estate development and mini storage company here in the state of Texas. Gain to the 32 of about 6.
I've been impressed with Scott Chandler. And as far as the size of the next level tight end, and to me, Sean, I don't know what his time is, but I know his football speed. His football speed is outstanding for 260 pounds and 6'7".
Damian Sims, nice cut, and a first down to the 21. Michael Griffin made the tackle. Well, so many of these players for Iowa are projects. Kirk Ferentz had the funny line we visited the other day. He said, if my sister can recognize that they're a great player, we don't get that kind of guy, by and large. The Texases of the world do.
Right. One of them is like that, Sean, Mike Elgin. You see how he finishes and finishes and finishes. He puts the guy on his back, and Damian Sims trusts that Mike Elgin is able to do that.
And he's an example of one of those guys we're talking about. He came to Iowa as a 185-pound linebacker. Gained 50 pounds as a freshman. Was a DN for a while, and now an offensive lineman. Tate started stumbling after he got flushed from the pocket, got back near the line of scrimmage at the 22. Perhaps a loss of a yard. One of the guys in this program does a great job is Chris Doyle, the strength and conditioning coach, because they get guys like Elgin, like Scott Chandler. Chandler, now the tight end, was 215 pounds, a wide receiver in high school. And there's a look at Chris, fine player at Boston University. Chandler's now 260 pounds. And you need a great strength coach in a program like this where you have to develop players.
And the coaches have to recruit and project how big guys are going to be.
Screen. Sims. Looked promising when the ball was in the air, but that speedy Texas defense rallied quickly. Michael Griffin and Rashad Bobineau.
That's right. And Rashad Bobineau does a great job of submarining under potential blockers and cutting the legs out of Sims, because if Bobineau is picked up by Raphael Eubanks, center, that's off to the races. They're in man-to-man coverage. He's running.
Bobineau started every game of his career for Texas. Today, number 26. Hawkeye fans hoping for another third down conversion. 3rd and 9 from the Texas 21. 6.5 to go. The Horns lead by 5.
There's the blitz.
The blitz. Tate throws behind his intended receiver, Andy Brodell. And now a decision for Kirk Ferentz with 6:24 to go. And he's going to send the field goal team out and try to get within 2.
I'll tell you, that's a nice job of Iowa's offensive lineman backs picking up the blitz. And Drew Tate, one of the first and only bad passes that he's made tonight behind Brodell. He was open.
He's been emotional throughout his career. Early in his career, he was the fiery leader, and the team fed off his emotion. Lately, his emotion has been viewed as a divisive influence by some, as the team has struggled. Kyle Schlicker's kick from 38 is good. We asked Tate about that yesterday. He said, yep, sometimes people are just looking for an excuse. It used to be that my emotion helped the team. Now people want to say I'm a bad influence, that I'm too hard on my teammates, but they know that's not true. And Boston College, a winner on a last-second field goal in the Meineke Car Care Bowl over Navy. And now on an Iowa field goal, the Hawkeyes back within 2 points in the Longhorns. Still a long way to go. 6:20 remaining.
Don't forget now, I was left 10 points out on the field. A touchdown called back for an illegal receiver downfield, plus the missed field goal. So they're hanging in there, plus the golden opportunities.
Yeah, they were mad about that call at the time, but I think when they see the tape, they'll realize it was the right call. And the officials were not responsible for that turn in momentum. It was their lack of execution on the next play after a good call. Juan Cosby out to the 21-yard line. Well, we remind you, loss. It's tomorrow night.
You and I will be heading over to Pasadena for the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all.
On ESPN Radio. McCoy out of the shotgun. And the handoff to Selvin Young. Pulled down after a gain of 1 by Zach Gableman. Well, they're without Mike Klinkenberg, their outstanding middle linebacker and team's leading tackler for the season. But Gableman has given them a terrific performance.
Outstanding performance. He's a fifth-year senior. He knows this is probably the last time he'll ever put on a helmet, and he's playing his heart out for his teammates in his university. Doing a great job.
Stats have evened up, indicative of the way the game has gone. Two proud programs, and they've given it a great effort here today. And Michael Finley made the catch. And Zach Gableman made another tackle. In for Klinkenberg, who did dress hoping that he could play on a sprained foot. An injury suffered a couple of weeks ago. Unable to go. Klinkenberg, not only second team All Big Ten as a linebacker, one of the great students in the country, 3.98 grade point average, another first team academic All-American. Iowa had 3 of them this year, the only team in the country with that many. And a tough year for Klinkenberg. His dad Myron died suddenly of a heart attack at age 61 in September. The catch and the quick tackle short of the first down. Billy Pittman the catch. Charles Godfrey flattened him at the 30. And the Longhorns will likely have to punt unless Mac Brown wants to be very risky in his own end.
It's a disciplined coverage right there by Godfrey, making sure he has his man, but he comes off late to help. And again, eliminating the rack yards and running through, not running to. What a great stand by Iowa's defense. They needed that after Texas has been able to move the ball with ease with that spread offense.
Fifth punt of the day for Greg Johnson. Dominique Douglas standing at his own 30-yard line. Not a good kick. Wobbly, and it takes a terrible bounce for Texas back across midfield. That bounced back about 10 yards, and it wasn't that great to start with. A 19-yard punt by the senior Johnson.
Remember, the clock starts on possession now, so it's at 3:35. As soon as the referee is winding his arm right now, that clock will start running. There it goes.
Now it runs. Ball at the 48-yard line of Texas. Iowa Hawkeyes 6-6. Big underdog in this game. Lost 3 in a row and 5 out of 6. A chance to upset Texas. Trying to go into the bag of tricks, and they are thwarted. Marcus Griffin came up to slam down Dominique Douglas for a loss of about 11 on the play.
Well, a couple things wrong, and I admire the trying to mess around with them a little bit. They have 8 people up at the line of scrimmage, and you're taking a risk when you don't need to take a risk when you already have good field position.
Yeah,
trust in what you've been doing. Yeah.
So little time left now, too. Ball back at the 41-yard line. 2:45 to go. Tate. Looked like his arm was struck by Crowder as he went to throw it. It'll be 3rd down and 21.
He's open, I'll tell you, and Drew's getting on his tackle, Seth Olsen, but that's tough duty for Seth Olsen to keep Crowder out there. Drew Tate has to step up into the line of scrimmage and step up into the pocket. See, he's staying back there where Olsen's pushing Crowder by. If Drew just steps up a little bit to help his big fella out, he'll have a chance to make a clean delivery.
Iowa's all 3 timeouts left. Texas with 1. Huge 3rd down and 21.
And man to man, across the board. Line up and find out who's better.
Blitz. Tate gets away for a moment. Gets away again. Throws on the run. Incomplete. It would have been short of the 1st down anyway, and Andy Brodell stumbled as he tried to come back to the ball and help out Drew Tate. I think with 21 yards to go and all 3 of your timeouts, you have to punt.
Absolutely. You punt the football and play defense. And Texas, more than likely, will run the football to force you to use your timeouts. But the reverse killed them. Great read by Marcus Griffin coming up and doing a great job of not making an open field tackle on Dominique Douglas, who wanted to throw the ball.
Well, you look like a genius when you run that trick play at midfield if it works. But boy, instead, that was a killer. An 11-yard loss on 1st down. They were trying to pass from the wide receiver Douglas. Fenstermaker hangs it up high. Fair catch, Quan Cosby at the 15-yard line. 44-yard punt from Fenstermaker. He has a nice game in the last of his career.
Here again, the change of possession. The clock will start as soon as the referee whistles it in play. Coach Parker, he's got to need another big stop from the boys.
You know, we spoke with Norm Parker during the week. He said we'll have to play lights out of our minds almost to hang in there with these guys. He has to be very proud of the effort of the Hawkeyes today. A team that, the way the season ended, could have easily gone in the tank. Well, they have represented the proud Iowa tradition with their effort here today. Good Coach Ferentz and his staff credit for a great month of bowl preparation. Selvin Young into the line. And a timeout called by Iowa, 1:54 to go.
Timeout.
Kenny Webema
University of Iowa.
made the tackle.
Timeout number 1.
Another example where the new rule helps the team with the lead. The ball marked for play, and the clock started after the change of possession. Way to come to the game the other day. Don't bother to come. This is meaningless. Why are you coming all the way to Lubbock for this?
It's an incredible record.
It is. 2nd down and 9 upcoming. Texas still rushed the ball for only 54 yards today. That's a problem that has lingered here at the end of the year. But McCoy's had the huge days. Passed for 308.
I want to give credit to the both lines. The offensive line for Texas, knowing they can't run the ball, has had the pass block, and the defensive line from Iowa that's not very deep has been pass rushing most of the game. They're leaving, both teams are leaving their heart and soul out in the field, which defines college football for me.
McCoy's season high 346 in the win against Oklahoma State. High formation with Selvin Young, the tailback. Instead, they hand it off on the end around. Billy Pittman appears to have a 1st down. Miguel Merrick made the tackle. They're going to spot it at the 27. It is an 11-yard gain and a 1st down.
Yeah, watch Tony Hill, Sean, a big offensive tackle, peel back and get the block right here on Humboldt to spring. Pittman on the end around. Give them a little dose of their own medicine. Great job by Tony Hills.
Timeout Iowa. They had to use it as Pittman went down inbounds. We check in with Reese Davis. Well, hopefully they will continue a string of exciting games today right here on ESPN. Well, regardless of the outcome, there's a much better performance than we've seen in a long time from this Iowa team. Had an uncharacteristic year. A lot of reasons why: injuries, inexperience at some key positions.
That's college football, though.
Yep.
I mean, every team has that. And I just like the fact that Kirk Ferentz, I see that edge in him again, that edge, that competitor, the way he's handled boot camp, basically, for the bowl practices. He sent a message to his players. The beautiful thing about it, he's got to be proud that his players responded the way they played tonight.
Now just one timeout left for Iowa. Really up against it.
Start stripping the ball. Tackling the football, and tackle the man.
That was another problem for Iowa all year. They're -10 in turnover margin. Selman Young will be wise to stay in bounds and alertly slide to the ground with Edmund Miles in hot pursuit. And the Hawkeyes used their last timeout with 1:37 to go.
Timeout. University of Iowa, third and final timeout.
And no timeouts left for Iowa. Second down upcoming for Texas. And it's been an interesting year for Texas. Mac Brown said it's a very hard thing, as he found out, to defend a national championship. And he pointed to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Heat. He said if we win it again, actually he said when we win it again, I think I might take the next year off because it's that hard. There's so many different issues to deal with. All in all, a very nice season in defense of that national championship.
I think you get 10 wins. That's awesome in today's day and age of college football. His staff has done a great job with the development of Colt McCoy, who continues to get better as the year goes on. You can see the difference the way Colts played tonight as opposed to the last 2 games that they lost in their season finales.
Well, they came here believing they had a lot to play for, particularly that 10th win. To give them 10 wins or more for the 6th year in a row, the only team in the country that could make that claim. They're very close to it now if they can finish off the final minute 37, Rob.
Well, it'll be up to Selman Young. You know, he came into the game with just 580 rush yards, second most this season for a Longhorn. Doesn't exactly sound like NFL numbers, does it? But Mel Kiper told me yesterday Young has a really strong chance to be taken on the first day of April's draft. He's improved his pad level. Quickness, change of direction, kick return ability, all that make him a top prospect. And he showed us something yesterday, guys, his attitude. When asked about splitting time this year, he told us, guys, it was a season where I had to understand this was what was best for the team.
Well, it's easier to split time when you have Jamal Charles as your 1A and 1B back. That's quite a combination of a 1-2 punch, which, frankly, that's where most football is going, is 2 solid running backs.
Young still out there. The Iowa might have been offside, but there are no flags down. Young upended by Marcus Pascal. Now the Hawkeyes cannot stop the clock. It'll be 3rd down. The clock will approach a minute to go. No under a minute by the time of the next snap.
Remember, the play clock is down. That's why you don't see it on the bug up there in the corner, and it's kept by the back judge. It will let the quarterback know when there's 20 seconds have gone by. He'll raise his hand and let him know that there's 5 seconds.
We'll keep an eye on the back judge. Get the signal when they're down to 5 seconds on the clock. Looks like they might even just intentionally take a delay of game penalty here. They're not even up over the ball.
Timeout.
Or use their own timeout.
University of Texas, third and final timeout.
So no timeouts left on either side. Time now for our Capital One players of the game. And some easy choices. Colt McCoy for Texas. 308 yards and 2 touchdowns to tie the single season freshman touchdown pass record. 29 for the year. And Andy Brodell, his 2nd straight huge game. 2 touchdowns on 6 receptions. 160 yards receiving.
And one of the questions about Colt and his recovery from his injury, Sean, was arm strength. Well, that was there tonight. And the other question was accuracy, because the injury he felt affected his accuracy, and that was there tonight. So all systems go for Colt tonight, and all systems go for Colt in the spring ball on the next season.
Kickoff for Georgia and Virginia Tech, 8:13 Eastern time from the Chick-fil-A Bowl. We'll get there in time for the kickoff. And we asked Mac Brown about next season. He said, yeah, they're going to have a real good team. Again, they should be poised to make another run at a national championship. They've just gotten to the point where They're going to be in it every year with the great influx of talent they have coming in year after year.
Well, we talked to him about the recruiting, and it's hard. There's so many kids in Texas, and a lot of the Texas kids want to be Longhorns, and they turn so many away because they can only take 20 to 25 kids a year.
Well, they have about 325 players a year who will sign scholarships at Division I-A schools. They can only take 20. A lot of those kids want to be Longhorns, so really they are picking and choosing. Did he stay in bounds?
Yes.
Officials conferring. The clock has not stopped, so apparently Young just did. Mack Brown said a lot of schools now are offering other players scholarships earlier and earlier, trying to force the young men to make a decision before Texas can decide if they want them or not.
Before they even see them. And that, you know, if I'm like Coach Graham down at Rice, I'm going to do that. Or if I'm at TCU, Coach Patterson, I'm going to do that.
Even other Big 12 schools.
Yeah.
You know, as Mack Brown says, we'd like to date you first before we get married. Boy, this was very close. To Young being out of bounds. And he was out of bounds before they caught a huge break there, Texas. As he goes across that sideline there, and he is not down. And the officials are conferring now.
Seconds, please.
Let's go back to Roger Gaskamp, our NCAA referee in the booth. Is that reviewable, Roger? Can they go back and put the time on the clock?
Yes, they can, if they did go out of bounds. It is, all lines are reviewable.
I think that's what Kirk Ferentz would like to see.
Apparently they're not going to.
Well, why wouldn't the officials be stopping the game here then? At least to take a look at that.
I don't think they felt like he did go out of bounds. They saw him down in bounds. They took the penalty for delay.
Booming kick by Johnson, and great coverage by the Texas Longhorns. Michael Griffin, their star safety, down there to get Dominique Douglas at the 15. And bear in mind, the clock stops when they reset it. This new rule that you and I despise at this part of the game. Now they have to get right over the ball and be ready to snap at one time.
Yeah, this is where the officials do give them the benefit of the doubt. You see the two officials huddling right here, letting Iowa at least get a chance to line up. And they got to be able, Eubanks has got to be able to ball. Drew's got to be under center or in a shotgun position. Everybody's got to be set. As soon as that umpire moves out of the way, he'll look back to the referee, and the referee will start it. As soon as that umpire moves out of the way, Eubanks has got to snap the ball.
Well, there's a lot of history here. Drew Tate threw a touchdown pass on the last play of the 2005 bowl game against LSU. And, of course, last year in this game, it was Michigan laddering all over the field against Nebraska on the final play. There won't be 8 laterals to finish this Alamo Bowl. As Texas got in the way, Aaron Lewis ends the game. And Mack Brown and the Longhorns have that 10th win for the 6th year in a row. And you could read the lips of Mack Brown. Great game to Kirk Ferentz, and it certainly was.
Both teams and both coaches need to be very proud of their players. They were looking, they both came at it as a business trip. Kirk Ferentz needs to be proud of Drew Tate and the career that he's had. Mack Brown, Colt McCoy, the future's bright. Kirk Ferentz has a little bit of rebuilding, but if there's a coach in America that can rebuild, Kirk Ferentz is your man.
And Drew Tate, Coach Ferentz said it'd be poetic justice if he went out a winner in his last game against his home state university in his home state of Texas. He didn't get the win, but he certainly gave a performance reminiscent of a couple of years ago when he was the best quarterback in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and that's why he'll get a shot in the NFL. I happen to think he'll get drafted. Somebody will take a late flyer on him because of his competitiveness, because he's a winner, and because he knows how to make plays.
Both of these Texas high school quarterback legends were outstanding on the collegiate field in the Alamo Bowl today. Here's Rob.
Well, with Colt McCoy. And Colt, a struggling first quarter for you in the offense. What changed?
We just had to stay after it. We knew all along that we were just going to have to take what they give us, and they were doing a great job of stopping our plays. And, fortunately, we caught some lucky breaks, got an interception, and kind of got it going. We came out here, we wanted to win. I was a great team, and I just want to give God all the glory. He's blessed me so much, and we're happy. In your mind, when did this game change into your favor? At halftime, when we got the momentum going in at halftime, we came out and scored real quick. They were still on top of us, but we stuck with it, kept fighting. And good things happen for us. What does this do for Texas's momentum heading into the offseason? It's unbelievable. I can't explain how much it's going to help us, especially for these young guys seen us fight for these seniors. You know, this one was for the seniors. I love them.
Thanks, Colt. Happy New Year.
McCoy threw for 308 yards in the Texas victory.
Yeah, I'll tell you what changed, Sean, was the fact that they went from a two-back offense to the spread, and he started slinging the rock all over the place. Iowa couldn't stop him.
Matt Brown, a congratulatory hug for Drew Tate. Texas wins 26-24. The Chick-fil-A Bowl is up next. Now for Chris Field and Rob Stone and our crew, Sean McDonough, reminding you this has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night and Happy New Year from San Antonio. Let's send you now to Atlanta.
Now just take the running game. You've been very successful in the cutback. Very good job of running the football straight ahead with power. I don't think you want to take a chance with a little flare pass like that again. Vince Young was a little late with throwing that football. They make a break on it. It could be going the other way. Stick with what got you going down here. Power football straight ahead.
I like this. Put him in the shotgun, let him throw it. If it's not there, let him run it. Get it closer. Here come the blitzers. Vince Young on the run. Vince Young inside the 30. Off he goes. Vince Young inside the 20, the 10. It is over. Vince Young has done it again. A 39-yard touchdown run to end the game in overtime.
Vince Young has a flair for the dramatic, and he does it again, folks. Steps in against the blitz, finds the open lane, and I guess he knows the offense better than I do as he goes for the big touchdown and the win.
Put him in the shotgun, let him run it if it's there. Off he goes.
John Cricky knows the offense better than anyone. It's simple to call.
Yes, well, what Vince Young can do, this is the most exciting player in the National Football League.
Speed on Vince Young in the open field. Take a look. They told you they're going to come on the blitz. D'Amico Ryan's on the outside. And again, the patience of Vince Young, not the panic. And then when he takes off.
That's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Again, take a look at it again. Looking downfield, he kind of just sidesteps some people. And now that burst in the open field, guys. Number 10, you've got to be a laser if you want to hit Vince Young. As anyone else, it's not going to get done.
So Vince Young comes home to Houston and has a phenomenal final moment. A touchdown run that ends the game in overtime. 26-20 Titans. And who knows where this team would go if the season were starting 8 weeks ago. They've won 6 of their last 8 now and 4 in a row.
I'll tell you what, he does some. He's a gamer. Folks, he's a gamer. He knows what it means to take it to the next level.
And there's Coach Ray Seals.